Good stuff. But here comes the really important question, man. Who's
first pick?
Who's first pick and who chose a map and which one is it going to be? Everything's on the line, man. BlizzCon ticket. Anyone?
It's all down to this. Who did the one opt for first pick or map pick?
Oh, Towers.
They opted for map pick. The one taking us to Towers of Doom. And it looks like Battlefield was available as well.
Yeah, oh, it was
The
Sky
other
Temple actually
ban was
receiving a
Sky.
ban.
Okay.
Doom and Sky Temple. There we go. Oh,
I forgot
man.
about Sky.
Tetra, how many crazy games have we witnessed on Towers of Doom, especially when they were deciding matches? This could be one of those.
This could be one of those indeed, but the one, they chose this actively knowing how difficult SPT have on this, how difficult a time SPT have on this map. But will that theme continue with Diablo being the first ban?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, if you have no idea what you're currently watching, this is HGC China Playoffs, the final day, the final game to decide who's going to BlizzCon 2018 to represent China at the most important tournament of the year. And it is an important tournament for China in particular. A lot of fans out there want their region to succeed. Tetra and myself included, I would say. But it has simply not been the year of China up to this point.
There's the Illidan ban once again. Who saw that coming? We did, because it's been pretty consistent.
The Hugo factor. You don't want to
Yes.
give him that Illidan.
So then, what are we going to see as the second ban? Almost certainly Genji, unless they want to try mixing it up a bit.
Oh man, are you willing to let Genji go through in that final game on Towers of Doom, which is certainly a good map for him because of all that terrain that he can just swift strike and cyber agility over?
I'm going to find out. Genji does get banned out, so sticking with the standard stuff here this time.
First pick goes over. Diablo is no longer available. Tyrande, Decker Kane. I would actually go for a Decker Kane. Why? Decker Kane is by far the most versatile support in the game. He enables Sergeant Hammer, which was not banned already. Could this be another Sergeant Hammer game? Every game that SPT had with Sergeant Hammer looked very good.
That is true, and we've seen them use it repeatedly, SPT,
Yeah.
to control the bottom lanes. They're going to let it go through the 1R in exchange for an early Cassia, which I guess is an effective tool against a Hammer, very preemptive.
But also very vulnerable now if you decide to go for more ability damage instead, and they're doing exactly that. Junkrat can actually mess up Cassia's life quite heavily. Short range on Cassia's auto attacks means more likely to be caught in a concussion mine. Ability damage reigns supreme against her. The Riptire could actually be a disastrous weapon against her.
And what are we going to see as the next ban? I wouldn't mind still seeing the Hammer banned out.
Oh, absolutely.
Would still be pretty acceptable here.
Unless they are trying to pick it themselves, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Cassia Hammer is not really something we see all day, but it could still work out. Sergeant Hammer is still super good on this map. So it could also be a ban for SPT now because it is the one picking first after this. Maybe banning out the Anubarak again. Caused a little bit of trouble here and there. Nope, it is Hugo's Malthael. Hugo's hero pool gets tackled even more.
Makes sense. Want to try and lower that hero pool down a bit, but he's been pretty comfortable on the Thrall, so I expect that's probably what we'll see here. Thrall or something like that. I don't think there's any other solo
Leoric
lanes
is still open.
global. Yeah, Leoric's probably got the
Blaze.
next best rotation. So
I want to see a Blaze, honestly.
There's a Phoenix and a Nubarak saving the solo laner. I do not mind this at all.
Yep, so they basically get to scout which solo laner SPT wants to send into battle and then can pick accordingly. For example, if SPT were to pick a Leoric, then a Blaze all of a sudden would look less attractive. And they do exactly that. Hammer and Leoric, oh my goodie. I mean, Leoric is still, Blaze is still pickable simply because of Bunker. But in lane, he's definitely going to struggle against that Leoric. So what is it going to be, a Thrall? It's going to be an Irel, who's still available. Oh, he has to be Irel. Like, are you kidding me? And that is the Hugo thing, though. He doesn't play Irel much, does he?
That's true. It's not one of his top ones. He could still Blaze, and there we go. Bunker would still be pretty clutch here. But overall, looking at these drafts, I think SPT kind of ran away with this. They've got a good solo lane, they've got great front line, and they've got a fantastic poking back line.
I agree. I think their Hammer has looked super strong, super scary. They do have Hammer plus Decker Kane, which is so scary to go up against. The early Cassia, I think, was a little bit of a letdown for me as well. Blaze is fine, but how much value can he get against a Leoric? The bunker, is it really needed? Was it really that tool that they needed? I think it all comes down to just Hugo not feeling comfortable in ERL. It's something we've been criticizing in the past already. It's something he had tried to work on a little bit. I think he did play it on the Eastern Clash, didn't he?
I think so, yes.
But as we all know, the one didn't look good at the Eastern Clash, so probably not very impactful.
That's true. They looked pretty weak even against other China teams, losing to BTG with their substitute, as we already mentioned before. Well then, let's see if TheOne can do it with this. The com's still good. They still have all the tools they need. Their burst potential, once again, they've got to rely on those Anubarak engages.
Anubarak engages indeed, and when there's a Sergeant Hammer on the enemy team and you have an Anubarak, while they might not have Li Ming to melt down the cocoon, a Napalm can actually do almost the same thing. The ticking damage, you know, the quick ticking damage. Whether it's a Tassadar attacking or a Tychus, for example, a Tracer, like all these quick ticking auto attacks or abilities will melt cocoons very nicely. So I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried for TheOne. I want them to succeed for sure. I think it would be great to have them on the international stage, but this is certainly a tough draft that SPT has fielded into this final match.
That it is, and will it be what they need to go home with that BlizzCon ticket? Let's find out. As for now, though, TheOne on the left-hand side with Hugo, Keshi, Meng, ZJZ, and Hehe.
And facing them are the current kings of China. It is SPT with Lucky, Melody C, Misaka, Soap, and ZZH, and they are here to protect their throne and defend their title. Is all where it comes down to this game. Do we see any surprises here? We see Thunderstroke, more range, more poke for Cassia. I think that is a good choice. Kaldorai resistance for Tyrande. Ability damage reduction against Junkrat makes sense.
Does indeed. Could also affect Napalm later on. And
True.
of course that Deckard Cain damage. Deckard Cain damage not totally terrible here.
Dude, yeah, Scroll of the Stone Curse at level 16. You would be surprised by how much damage Deckard Cain can dish out if it lands on 2 or more people. I think that is a very good point you raised there. Don't laugh at the old man. Still's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Still does damage. So then, with that online, we are seeing Soap already getting ganked. He gets a quick knock up, impale, and he's dead.
Oh, that he is I mean, he basically went for full tankiness with that build with the Austrian renewal, but at some point, you can't run away from 4 heroes who lock you down, who lower your armor. Nice pickup here by TheOne, but look at how quickly Soap is back. It's almost like nothing happened. He's already back in the battle, so good pickup, but no drastic consequences. Didn't even lose any minions to soak.
We see the mercenary camp being picked up very quickly because, well, they can. They know where everyone else is. They had vision, and they can suspect that the bottom mercenaries are the name of the game for the members they don't see, so they feel confident taking this. How well is Leo going to be able to defend this? Pre-level 4, so no ability to use those Neo peasants to hold the lane.
Yep, can make those peasants kneel yet, Leoric. One of the greatest talents names, by the way, the entire game. It's so good. But yeah, this Keshi Phoenix will bully him out pretty hard. And look at how they actually swapped lanes as well. You would have normally thought, you know, Hugo on the Blaze would be the lane opponent of Leoric. But with Blaze struggling against Leoric in the first place, they decided to switch it around. And Keshi with that superior range on Phoenix, the great bullying potential, is having a much better time against Leoric than Blaze ever could.
You see, once again, Soap having even more trouble against Blaze after a quick gank with those jet propulsions. As Melody C, he's a little bit of damage, but with that shield from Deckard, he's pretty fine.
I mean, Soap is having a little bit of difficulties, right? No doubt about that. But look at what SPT was able to achieve in the bottom lane in the meantime. Both towers gone, the wall pieces as well. This is now a completely naked lane. Lucky now tries to take over Soap's job here and keep the top lane safe and sound, but he struggles just as much against Keshi and Hugo.
Lucky is just sieging away at these minions, trying to keep everything safe for the moment.
Yeah.
As we see it with ZJZ dropping a little bit low, but able to fountain up.
Shield potions online for Deckard Cain. That's a big power spike in the early game for the old man. We see Lunar Blaze once again for Tyrande. No big surprises here. It's just so good, man. The extra range is super useful, very good to have. So let's see what she can do with this. 3 altars. Is anyone invading here, by the way? No cheeky moves. Both teams rotating towards the bottom half already. Sergeant Hammer keeps the beetle away. Uh-oh, this is an invade. There we go.
They're thinking about it. ZJZ finally getting interrupted. They
Free
waited
stack.
quite a while for that one. Free stack's always good.
Uhua gets tossed into the range of Sergeant Hammer. Needs to be careful. He went for the level 4 Impale upgrade, by the way, which means that there's going to be some spikes left available, and they slow in damage. Forget the name of it here. I should know that.
That is the Beta Barbs.
Beta Barbs. There we go.
And that can get some pretty crazy value here if they are able to get the making the plays here.
This is a very intense moment right now. Yeah.
It is. It's very calm in terms of actual action, but a lot of pressure being applied. Lucky getting forced away.
Okay, she's probably going to step into the trap. There we go. Remains frozen on the main map for now, and Leoric might actually use that momentum here to sneak in from behind. Melody C in no man's land needs to get the hell out of dodge here.
We see damage onto Melody C. Quick wraparound from Keshi, and the one take the kill. Lucky zoned away again. Could the one actually just get the triple cap here? The legendary triple cap?
This is very well, you know, their first step onto a clean 40-0. I think they're going to get all 3 of them, or at least they're going to buy enough time. Phoenix is just indomitable right now. No one seems to have the damage and the range to bully him away. This is probably the longest 3 altar phase, first altar phase that I've ever seen in the pro game.
I think you might be right. I'm definitely feeling it. They're still delaying it. They've got the double already. They're potentially thinking about triple. Looks like Deckard is finally just going to be giving it.
Looks like the one, they've had enough. You know, they already took a big advantage in the early game, both in experience and, of course, in tower shots. Super cool to see that. But yeah, that was a funky move. Funky start to that that final game.
Yeah, cool start. Good to see how much more are they going to be able to do with this. As we see Misaka getting pressured with a 2-for-1. I really am surprised the one gave that up. I really thought they could have gone for the triple.
Yeah, but I think they've learned from their mistakes, you know, of the previous game. Sometimes when they tend to overdo it, when they get a little too overconfident in their own abilities, they might have to pay the price. While, of course, Towers of Doom is by no means as unforgiving as Curse Hollow, right? Because there's no core to burn down or no keeps. It's still, you don't want to fall behind by any means when there's so much on the line. Ooh, nice concussion mine. Anubrak going back in there immediately.
He's tanking through it for the moment, but took a lot of damage. Lucky taking even more damage, though. Lunar Flare gets the snipe. And the one creeping even further ahead, approaching level 9.
We thought they were outdrafted here when we saw those 2 drafts go down. Look at Garrosh, gets stunned, anti-armored right now by Tehran as well, but not enough damage.
Keeping it going, Misaka even eats a little bit more harassment.
Thunderstroke already completed after 6 minutes and 12. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's got a hammer. Easy character to hit here.
I guess you're right. Hammer with you know, limited mobility is always a target that you can focus on. So ZJZ is going to be, Meng is going to be a lot more scary right now. Also has some great synergy, of course, with 13 and 16 towns. You can go for the Pierce, you can go for the cooldown reduction or the slow, depending on what you prefer. So that is going to be one scary Cassia.
That it will. Putting on so much pressure already, and it's just going to get even worse, like you said, especially once level 13 hits, where you're going to get even more Lightning Javelin talents.
Okay, looks like altars this time are going to be split. The Beta Barbs keep slowing. The stun is good. Indomitable needs to use by Garrosh, who otherwise would have probably found himself surrounded by enemy heroes.
And bot lane now going to be the one being pushed up by the one. Looking to make even more pressure value. Taking down the front wall with the greatest of ease.
Yeah, of course, with a Anubrak in the mix, you can always have those beetles intercepting tower shots, which allows you to siege with a lot more comfort than elsewise. So yeah, the spears are raining down onto Melody C. That is a good scroll of sealing, though. Almost found its target.
Lunar Flare also dodged very slowly by Melody C. The Hover Siege unsieges to help his team give chase. As I said, they might try and get some counter pressure, or at least re-engage onto the one if they decide to turn around. But in this case, it's not going to happen.
Relatively even fight right now, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams with rig abilities. We see no big surprises here. The ball of lightning for Cassia can be very lethal, can be very strong. The only thing probably worth mentioning is the fact that we don't see a Lornado. Sometimes that is the go-to choice on Towers of Doom with all those, you know, narrow, tight corridors and choke points. But it is the stay a while and listen this time around. I think it is a countermeasure to the cocoon, because sometimes when a target is cocooned and the enemies are already grouping up around it, you can make them fall asleep and allow that target to escape.
With that is true. The play potential is there. The question is, will he be able to land it? As he is probably going to be the dive target. In this case, though, it's Misaka who is the dive target, with ball lightning already coming in. Misaka dropping very low, and the stay a while and listen being denied by a bunker.
Bunker is here to save the day, but it means that they're also not going to have it available in that ensuing team fight here. Keshi dropping a little bit of poke there, drives Leoric back for now. Hugo almost done with that channel, but Misaka arrives to save the day here as well. Good zoning by Junkrat. ZJZ trying to get this up. Leoric is back, though, with that healing. We can say the same about ZZH. He is gone without a support. SPT is in complete disarray.
March the Black King gets a single swing, very familiar there. As Melody C pulls back, continuing to fire in any damage. Good siege tactics, though, preventing the counter. But the one sneaking the turning. Can Misaka deny it? Yes, he can, but for how long?
At least for now. Junkrat, on the other hand, like this was a risky move, right? That I don't think was worth it in the end. I mean, sure, he bought his team a couple of seconds, but already Junkrat was on his way to top. And if you have those moments against other teams from Korea, from Europe, I mean, they might actually punish those greedy moves way harder than Chinese teams can. So reckless play without really getting much done. SPT, that really shows how nerves and communication seems already to be a little bit of an issue for them.
With that, SPT, they, like you said, are starting to struggle. 5 kills to 0 in favor of the one right now. As SPT looks to try and finally put one on the board, completely denied. Keshi just straight up leaves.
That he does. Melody C, though, gets caught in a stun, takes another spear to the hammer front, and man, I think this game is starting to snowball out of control. Even the owl connects and prevents Melody C from teleporting back there as well. The one is just all over the map. They're looking really solid. They're looking really good here with a 32-20 lead. And what are they going to make work here in this bottom? They don't have mercenaries to support this. They need to be careful. And Nubrak is keeping the flanking angle safe, though.
At least for the moment. As we see SPT trying to move up. Keshi sees this. He actually shows himself. Realizes that how many people there are might actually be there.
That's an aggressive move.
It is. It's 3 versus... Nice bunker there. 3 versus 2, but now it's a 3 versus 3 as Hehe looks to try and cut off the escape route. Soap will escape. Salvo comes out, and Misaka is going to fall here. Lucky might not be so lucky.
No, I think he's ran out of luck this time around. Gets another concussion mine, though. Oh, funky moves. He was trapped in that cocoon, but still makes it out to safety. Where is Soap going, by the way? Why didn't he just go to the bottom? I think this was an unnecessary risk. Nubrak already on his tippy toes.
Now, pink. That will deny the start of the channel. Can they get there in time for the second denial? Lunar Flare! No! Boom! Right on the last second. They kill off Soap, who was trying to delay it.
Yeah.
And Melody C is out of there.
That was the whole purpose of it, of course. Soap trying to, you know, buy a little bit of time for Melody C to channel it all the way through. Was not able to do so, though, however, because of that quickening blessing value for Tyrande. I mean, the 2 talents right coming into play here is so huge. Quickening blessing, so she gets there faster, and Lunar plays at level 4 with the extended range. What a cool play.
Soap in full retreat, looking to trying to keep himself from getting killed off once again, as he's been doing a unfortunate Leorki impression this game, as he has been trying to buy his team some time, but is struggling to really do so.
That's right. At some point, we just need a Murloc skin for Leorg already to basically create the one true Leorki.
Yes, completely agree there, but gotta keep working towards that for the moment. There's SPT. Keep holding the line, trying to just keep themselves in this game. They're a level and a bit down at this point. It's far from over, but that talent deficit is going to be such a problem, and may keep being a problem, especially if they lose Melody C. A great cocoon being used here before Hammer could even see jump to get the siege tactics.
Yeah, it all comes down to Decker Kane saving everybody, and that is exactly what we talked about earlier. Making everybody fall asleep, but they die in the process. The slows are huge, and down goes SPT with a double kill against them. The slowing coming in from the bird charge, the slows coming in there as well from Blaze. What a wonderful salvo.
What a fantastic salvo coming in there from TheOne. They set him up, they knocked him down, Hammer escaped, but all that did was condemn her allies to death. Now, TheOne, they're looking for a minimum another double cap, maybe even the triple cap this time. Do they want to take that risk? Owl will see the stealth hammer, and look at this, 3 of them moving across the map, at least a delay.
Really good vision there provided by the Sentinel, and look at how aggressively the triple unit, the 3-man unit of TheOne is trying to charge into this. SPT, they're intimidated, but guess what? They're not dead, even if they were to lose this altar, but still, you don't want to go down to 1 HP on your core. And remember, if they let this go, if they die in the defense, the boss is right next door. The boss is right there, so this could truly be GG for TheOne if they end up getting an altar plus some kills, and that is why they're posturing up so aggressively here.
We see ZJZ just quickly interrupting his own channel to get that Shadow Stalk off, keep his team nice and sustained. Just those thunder strokes are just coming in over and over again. As now, another interrupt. Hammer really working this down right now.
Oh, Phoenix!
Delay this. Phoenix with the big dive behind the line, snipes the Junkrat. Wow. That was gorgeous. And this is terrible news, because SPT, if they lose this altar, they can maybe survive as long as they can protect the boss. If they lose heroes, that's mid lane going to be taken down, or top lane going to be taken down. And that will just straight up be game, and Nubrak comes from over the wall. Now, are they going to attempt to go for boss, or are they going to maybe attempt to kill it off mid? They're going to just straight up take the altar and maybe go for boss afterwards, and with killing off Garrosh, that will almost certainly secure the boss. They're a little
Hammer
low.
gets a kill.
Kills off Blaze.
Hammer gets the Blaze. The question is that going to be enough to drive TheOne back? Looks like it is. Look at Leoric. He's already back. He's almost back again at it, so the boss was too risky. I don't think they had enough time to actually get that bell tower in top or mid either. But man, that fadeaway salvo by Phoenix was so cool to look at, and the reason why he went so inaggressively onto that Junkrat was because Junkrat was protected next to the bell tower, and he was over the wall shooting those grenades all the time to interrupt the the progress of TheOne. So he was truly the thorn in their sides until Phoenix decided to pull it out.
And now, with the fact that that boss did not go down with that Blaze dying, means SPT is still in the game. So now we see the next lethal attempt. The Mercenaries. Double Mercenary camp in bot lane.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Why on earth are they down here with this? They could easily just go up to boss right now and just try and clear that out as well. Just get double pressure. Instead, you're committing everything onto a single point again.
They're doing it the Chinese way, Tetra. They're trying to brute force their way into this. I agree. If they had rotated up to the top lane, get that boss in there, they probably could have been very successful.
Salvo.
Here comes another salvo.
Salvo's good, but much of the Black King this time keeps Soap alive for the time being. They've already cleared off one of the minions. The Into the Fray does not land. Keeps them safe for the moment. Last Sapper falls, and the core of SPT survives, but at the cost of 2 members. This again might guarantee the boss.
Can she dodge those grenades? Otherwise, you probably would have fallen to them. But yeah, this is the bell tower blocking the advance of SPT. There's the bell tower in the most unlucky position there for them. Lucky, speaking of being unlucky, he ends up falling as well. This is the game for TheOne. They're going to BlizzCon, and SPT, the reigning champions of China, have been dethroned.
And down goes the core. Huge congratulations to TheOne in a dominant final game. They're finally able to do it, and they will head to their first BlizzCon.